Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is the canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
The once goal-driven, ambitious Sapphire turns to the street life after the sudden death of her big brother Dre. Dre's best friend Devontae tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. A rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. This evening, first, I hope everyone is having a great evening. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Hope you're healthy. Hope you're feeling well. This evening, I want to talk about moral manipulation. Expectations to involve ourselves in others' conflict. There's been a backlash from groups of people on our community, the Black community, because of our reluctancy to speak on the Israel-Palestine conflict over on the Gaza Strip, because we're not putting the cape on and speaking out, in particular against the Palestinians on behalf of the Jews. People want to wag their finger in our face like we are obligated to speak, like we're obligated to put the cape on any side of this conflict. Again, in particular, on the side of Israel. Now, I don't see any of the two here in America that when a brother or sister is shot down on the street, I don't see any of them speaking out against it, putting the cape on for us, or talking about how terrible it is that not even a child that is shot down on the street by racist ass police officers. I don't see any Palestinians or any Jewish people speaking up and speaking out against that. Yet, again, I'm going to say it. I don't see any Palestinians giving us backlash for not speaking on behalf of Israeli or endorsing the absolute slaughter of Palestinians in Palestine and on the Gaza Strip. Yet, you have Michael Rappaport, who feels that he has the right, because he's been around us for decades doing the music, you know, not necessarily music, doing movies and being around us in the culture. He feels he can speak to us the way he speaks to us, like he can check us and manipulate us morally, trying to shame us into speaking out on behalf of them or even opening their mouths, period. We're not obligated to say anything about a conflict that don't concern our people. Now, I would definitely speak out against the slaughter of any people, regardless of where they at. I would speak out against that, the slaughter of people. But when you have propagandists on both sides saying that they're doing this to my people, and then you have on the other side saying they're doing this to my people, and then you have people come out and speak the truth contrary to both sides, that will actually have the fortitude to speak the truth about what's going on. You know, they want to silence people like that. If you're not saying what they want you to say, they want you to be quiet. Now, they want some of our people to come out and speak about what's going on in Israel and Palestine. Yet, if some of us come out and speak and we say something that's contrary to the propaganda that Israel is pushing, if we say something contrary to what they want us to say, they want us to be quiet. Either say what we want you to say or don't say anything. Yet at the same time, they feel like they can wag their fingers in our face for not saying anything. Not only are they not going to have it both ways, they're not going to have their way altogether, because we have a right to not say anything. It's called the Fifth Amendment, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be held against you really in the court of public opinion. That's how it goes for us. And if you work for those people, any one of them, both sides, but in particular, those who run the media, if you work for them, if you work for Viacom, if you have TV shows, you can't speak out against, you can't speak your opinion. Peace to my brother King Genocide. You can't say how you really feel. They hold against you how you really feel. In a place where they say we have freedom of speech. You are free to say what they want you to say, in other words. But before I get into the subject matter, I'm going to play a few music selections. I think I feel like hearing some Drake Cobbs. Peace to my brother Big Dog Philly OG.
Hey yo, we gangsta and you knew that. Now you something to shoot at. Aim it at your do back. Should've really removed do that. Homicide with it, niggas gon' make me do that. Y'all all to be famous when I put you where the news at. My gun named Lucy Lou, the Kill Bill Lucy Lou. Mean as 100 bullets in it and it's running loose. Got it on me right now, nigga. If you need the proof, shit that happened so fast, you didn't know you bleed through. All black everything, I'm looking like a racist. Just having black skin, I'm stuck in the matrix. Niggas lose patience, the jealousy blatant. Niggas in your cypher start working with the agents. Goddamn, they been plotting with the feds. These bullets that turn to bombs, have them squatting in your head. Dre Cobbs, that's my nigga for real. I really think that you niggas should chill. You know the vibes.
Show you stupid fuckers how true hip hop should be. I'm the king with words. Show you stupid fuckers how true hip hop should be. A king, I'm the truth. Show you stupid fuckers how true hip hop should be. It's gospel. Sleepless nights, keep shit tight.
We're really trying to make change. When you facing something deranged, you lose a signal, you out of range. I'm Cumberbatch, I'm Dr. Strange. My brain is on a different wave. You know I'm gonna be the first to aim. I got my smoky blood running through my veins. Came to F out the game and bring the pain. Me and dangerous, that shit is dangerous. We gonna be flaming shit. We know how these lames get. Rhyme after rhyme, you know how my aim is. I left the red dot mark the spot. This is hip hop. The rest of y'all can get a mop. If you ain't feeling that, the rest of y'all can get the block. You thought this real shit was just gonna stop? You should quit rapping, just gonna pop. You little scared niggas. Say my name and I'll appear, nigga. And you don't wanna know how me and Dangerous gonna deal with you. This that run up on them, make sure you got your steel with you. Yeah, nigga.
If Revolution had a movie, I'd be theme music. This is my emancipation. I shine like a diamond in the true state of cold. If Revolution had a movie, I'd be theme music. This is my emancipation. Theme music. If Revolution had a movie, I'd be theme music. This is my emancipation. I shine like a diamond in the true state of cold. If Revolution had a movie, I'd be theme music.
Let's go to Crabs in a Bucket by Dre Cobbs. Peace to the God, Black Wild Indian.
The crabs in the bucket, we can't do nothing of it. Haters continue fronting, and the real ones they love it. What's it like vomit?
Respect to no eyes.
Vibe high like rockets, and we
Peace.
keep it 100.
Blessings.
The crabs in the bucket, we can't do nothing of it. Haters continue fronting, and the real ones they love it. What's it like vomit? We see above it. Vibe high like rockets, and we keep it 100. They wanna deceive you, cause they just wanna be you. So they mad when they see you. Be a master achiever, all you need is to be you. Put the bullshit in review, I put the bullshit in review. All the bullshit I outgrew. Haters mad cause they not you, but God exists, pursue you. Meditate like I'm Hindu, but this aboriginal. Really, I'm just original. Spirit man with a plan to withstand any man or empty with issues. I meditate with my pistol and my amethyst crystal. That's all I'm that I commit to. Protect yourself from these suits. Spiritually, physically, close from the enemies. Who work always protect your energy. These niggas be on negative frequencies, man. Fuck a let them be. They can't fuck with a G.O.D. Roll up something sticky. Keep it gangsta and hippie. Stay on hustle like Nipsey. Bro got all that in the G. The crabs in the bucket. We can't
Respect in the bucket.
continue fronting. And the real ones they love it. What's it like vomit?
Thank all the family.
Vibe high like rockets, and we keep it 100. The crabs in the bucket. We can't do nothing of it. Haters continue fronting. And the real ones they love it. What's it like vomit? We see above it. Vibe high like rockets, and we keep it 100.
Yo, I'm Tony Stewart, laughing y'all like it's NASCAR. My rhymes elegant like salmon with the caviar. My third eye, let me see you are. Crabs in the barrel, they grab you when you reach too far. I shine bright cause I be with the stars. Get you these bars and maybe they can heal a few scars. Smoking ass toys and then I go and deal with the God. Who knew my pen game was cool God? My spirit tells me, you know you the one. I'm up niggas and I already won. My energy is kinetic and then I pass it on to my son. Each one, teach one, and let it repeat like a rerun. The supreme being, I found my higher self. It was inside me, and I brought it out myself. When they can't reach a level, envy brings out the devil. The devil brings out the metal. And this way of thinking leaves me unsettled. Man, we gotta do better.
We can't do nothing of it. Haters continue fronting, and the real ones they love it. What's it like, mommy? We especially above it. Vibe high like the rockets, and we keep it 100. The crabs in the bucket, we can't do nothing of it. Haters continue fronting, and the real ones they love it. What's it like, mommy? We especially above it. Vibe high like the rockets, and we keep it 100. The crabs in the bucket, we can't do nothing of it. Haters continue fronting, and the real ones they love it. What's it like, mommy? We especially above it. Vibe high like the rockets, and we keep it 100. The crabs in the bucket, we can't do nothing of it. Haters continue fronting, and the real ones they love it. What's it like, mommy? We especially above it. Vibe high like the rockets, and we keep it 100.
Peace to all the family that's in attendance of this stream. The discussion is moral manipulation, expectations to involve ourselves in others' conflict. While we have no one who would defend us besides us, and others deny right in our face as we are experiencing pain and suffering, people deny it how we feel. They just totally dismiss what's going on with our people. We have people that want us to put the cape on for them, and they make it a matter of morality, trying to manipulate us into standing up for them. See, this happens too often, and it's been ongoing since the so-called civil rights era. You know, with the feminist movement, they use our women in their endeavor for numbers, doing the what I call the Sister Act, acting like they was forming a camaraderie with our women because of the way their women was treating them, not necessarily how we were treating our women, but how Caucasian men didn't give his own woman rights. We didn't have rights to give our women. So all of that wasn't even our doing, but our women was used for numbers. And as a result, white women got their rights. We have people that wants to wag their fingers in our face, saying that they helped us start the NAACP. Dr. Martin Luther King's best friend was Jewish. And you got Negroes saying it's foolishness. Among a lot of things that happen to us, people will form an alliance with us. A lot of time when people align themselves with you, it's not to help you. An alliance doesn't automatically mean that someone's there to help you. It means that they're just going to be around you, align themselves with you, to be seen with you, to make it seem as if they're fighting with you in your fight. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's true, because a person can align themselves with you just to see what you're doing, because there's an unwritten law that our people must not be able to organize. When you see other than our people in our organizations, either some handkerchief head Negro felt compelled that we can't do anything without the help of Caucasian people, or a Caucasian people is seeking to see what's going on, what we are doing, and to infiltrate or perhaps destroy what we're trying to build. We must not be allowed to organize in a lot of people's thinking. Now, what we should be fighting to do, now I'm going to include everybody since everybody wants to be on this freedom train. We should be fighting to have a complete freedom of speech, because you can't say someone has freedom of speech, but if they say something you don't like, you want to silence them. You want to punish them for saying it. Or if you're on a social media platform, they want to take down your video and strike your page and suspend you, or perhaps take the whole page because they said something is against their community guidelines. Now, I can see if someone's they're threatening someone, or someone's bullying someone, I can see taking that down. Or if you are inciting violence, I can see that. But to speak out against somebody and disagreeing with somebody wholeheartedly, some people can say, and it'll stand, that you are exciting violence because you're disagreeing with someone. That's dangerous to some people, because there's another narrative that's against the narrative that's pushed. And we have outright liars among us saying that they're the victims and the other ones are doing to them what's really being done to the ones that's supposed to be the damn culprits. Yet, again, it's pushed as a lack of morality. And we don't owe anybody a damn thing. If anything, we are the ones who are owed, because we stand by everyone. Because I guess it's in our nature that we don't like to see pain and suffering, and we don't like to cause pain and suffering. We stand by anyone. Yet, we are in a dire condition ourselves to be putting the cape on for someone else. Who's going to stand for us? Who stands for us besides us? I can emphatically say no one. No one. Now I'm going to play some videos, and I'm going to give my narrative as the videos are playing. Yet before I start playing the videos, I'm going to put the link in the chat. If anyone wants to come up and add to the conversation, be my guest. I don't like censorship. The only reason why someone should be censored if they are bullying someone, they're outright lying, trying to defame somebody's character, outright lying, or if they're inciting violence. Now, those type of streams should be taken down. Or if they're exploiting children, they should be taken down. I don't like, because it's inconsistent with a narrative that someone's trying to push, that someone's punished for having their own damn mind and using it. I don't like that. Peace and power to my brother, King Norfolk. Now we're going to start with Michael Rappaport. He and his cocky foolishness. He's real cocky, talking his foolishness. This is what happens when we allow people to say anything around us without checking them. They continue it, and it
now to
escalates.
pull back. I am too far, too deep down the Michael Rappaport full truth and nothing but the truth rabbit hole to pull back now. But that is the third fucking job this year. See, a lot of times I'm assuming it doesn't even get to me. There's been other things too. There's other times where I'm sure, like, for Dick Stain, Donald Trump, who I had conversations with, I might vote for that motherfucker. Oh yeah, I'll break your hearts. Let me tell you something. Things don't get straightened up in this fucking world ASAP. And I know Smoking Joe has said the right thing about Israel. But when I'm seeing motherfuckers
World come together and decide what they're going to do about worldly affairs. Yet they're biased in how they do it.
economy is the way the economy is, when I'm paying fucking mortgage rates up, I mean, I'm getting, forget a colonoscopy. You don't need to get a colonoscopy.
Michael Rappaport is a millionaire. So he's fronting when he's speaking about his mortgage. He's fronting. He's acting like he's the common man. He's the typical, he's a typical damn white supremacist, but he's not the common man by a long stretch.
Go buy a house. The interest rates, go buy a car. And I know Smoking Joe has done some things I know. But I'm telling you right now, go buy yourself, go check what it's like to buy a car. Buy a house. The money. The fucking chaos in this country. The chaos around the world. But I'm too far down the Gringo Mandingo. I'm too far down the disruptive warrior rabbit hole to pull back now. The comments have been made. I said what I said. All you got to do is Google Michael Rappaport. Go to Breitbart.com. Do I support Breitbart? Fuck no, but they have made some fantastic covers of me. I have been on the cover on the internet of Breitbart. They quote me. I've said it here. I've said it all here on the I Am Rappaport Stereo podcast. And this is a podcast, by the way. And I am a professional podcaster. Some people think that Instagram is my podcast. I still have people that come up to me and go, I watch your podcast on Instagram. Nah, you got to listen.
You are a professional bullshitter. That's what you are, a professional bullshitter. And you think because people know who you are, you actually think that you have influence on people. And we all know that you are an actor. So someone said action and you broke into action. But today, I'm saying cut. It's over. You have no influence over us. You can speak to 1 million of us, but you're not going to manipulate us and think that we are morally supposed to support you in your endeavors or anyone else when no one supports us in our endeavors. And we need to start being inclusive to ourselves and what we need to do as a people.
You got to listen to the Iron Rappaport Stereo Podcast on iHeartRadio and where podcasts are available. Every and all podcasts are available. You still got to listen to the podcast. You might see the clips, huh? But you got to listen to the Iron Rappaport Stereo Podcast if you want the full package, the whole kit, the whole caboodle. Nonetheless, that's real. It's real. It's fucking real. What I'm saying is real. That I've lost jobs because of.
You hear what he's saying? What he's saying is real. REEL, not REAL. It's all a damn act. He is real as Mickey Mouse.
Specifically what I said about pig dick Donald Trump. Shit stain Donald Trump. Draft dodging Donald Trump. You may hear more about it. You may not hear more about it. But I'm not good at letting things go. It's never been my strong suit. It has never, ever been my strong. That's why I got stomach issues. I am not good at letting things go. Now, my stomach issues, knock on wood, my ulcerative colitis is in remission right now. Thank God. Thank God. And I am off all medication right now. I am only on supplements. Thank God. Thank God. Just my colonoscopy. I didn't give you guys my colonoscopy report. I told you about my.
We don't care about your colonoscopy report. We don't care about that. I don't wish nothing bad on you, but that's your goddamn business.
Colonoscopy prep. Colonoscopy came in. If it was a chef, you go, thank God. Had ulcerative colitis since I'm 16. You don't get ulcerative colitis when you're 16 because you're good at letting things go. Fact. Fucking chair is squeaking. Anyway, it's been hard. It has been hard, man. It's been really frustrating. All the fucking rallies, and it ain't just against Israel. It's not just for ceasefire. These rallies are excited, amped up, hateful, hate-filled, frightening.
Typical propaganda is what he's spewing right now. People start saying hateful and hate-filled because somebody dare to protest what is being done to them and their people. Just take it and go with it. And as far as you're concerned, like it, huh?
Rallies where people are covering their faces, saying in Miami, in New York, on college campuses, in London, in Berlin, they ain't just saying ceasefire, ceasefire. They're saying, you Jews, Adolf Hitler had it right. This ain't just about Israel.
If they said that, it'd be wrong to say that. Yet, it's not even certain that people even said that. See, people do things to justify their actions. And he don't even know that someone said that for certain, but he's on his platform saying this. He's saying somebody said this, but he's not even certain somebody said it.
And obviously, the majority of these people that are showing up at these rallies, I still truly believe that they're there because they believe that there should be a
Peace, not
ceasefire.
no.
But the anti-Jewish, the openly anti-Jewish comments online, ripping down posters, the Jews, Hitler, this, that, and the third. Hitler's your hero? You love Hitler? You think he was dope? You think Hamas is dope? You think rapist? necrophiliacs, pedophiliacs, baby killers, kidnappers are dope. These are lying, conniving, lying, liar.
Calling someone everything you are. Because all of the so-called hostages that I seen that were freed said they didn't experience any of the things that Michael Rappaport is saying. Calling someone a rapist, calling someone a necrophiliac and a pedophile is only the justification, because in my honest sentiment, all of the aforementioned things that he mentioned is not fit for a society. So that's where he's going with it, and that's where they're going with it, to justify the slaughter of people. Because no one wants to hear that children's being raped, women's being raped, any of these things, or someone being murdered, beheaded. No one wants to hear that. Everyone with any type of morality would stand against that. This is all moral manipulation. And when they come out and they say all these things are going on, and then they, in the eyesight of the people, those who believe their propaganda, that they're doing something about that, it's all moral manipulation.
Your pants on fire. These motherfuckers are lying about everything, and they've said it to your face. The guy was on the fucking news the other day. They tell you they do not want a ceasefire. They want to go until the wheels fall off. They don't want a ceasefire. They don't want a ceasefire and chill.
Now, how could the ones who are being bombed and murdered, excuse me, and who are in a open air concentration camp, those who are trying to flee the Gaza Strip, why wouldn't they want a ceasefire? It's Netanyahu who doesn't want a ceasefire. It's the Israeli military who doesn't want a ceasefire. Everyone is calling for a ceasefire, but Netanyahu doesn't want a ceasefire. But you're going to tell me that people who are being victimized don't want a ceasefire, and you expect people to believe that?
They don't want a negotiation. They don't give a fuck about the civilians. People in America give more fuck about the people in Gaza than the governing body of Gaza give a fuck about the people of Gaza. That's sick. They don't give a fuck about the people. They think they're martyrs. They think every one of those women, children, civilians that die.
But they give the citizens of Palestine 24 hours to vacate their homes, block the exit, turn off the water, turn off the electricity, don't allow aid to come to the people. And you want us to believe that is morality? Who do you think you're talking to?
Dies is a martyr. What kind of fucking bag of bullshit is that? You're doing a good thing by dying. What kind of fucking hustle and flow, 2-bit, 3-card Monty pimpin' ass bullshit is that? They're trying to convince the world.
You know, this whole entire stream is targeted at our people. This is targeted at our people. He's talking to us. Just listen to his language. Listen to what he's saying. He mentioned hustle and flow. He mentioned 3-card Monty. He mentioned pimping. He's talking to us. He think he know the lingo, and he think he can get to us. He's talking directly to us.
Trying to convince the people of Gaza that they're martyrs, that they're heroes if they die on their behalf. Get the fuck out of here. That is the sickest, most twisted, most conniving, evil, genius shit I've ever heard. You're a martyr if you fly a fucking plane into the World Trade Center. You're a martyr if you die in the name of Hamas. Get the fuck out of here.
Now, we all know what happened with 911, so you shouldn't even have said that. The whole entire world knows what happened with that.
Here. That is some bullshit, kooky, crazy, off the wall. And this just is not about the Jews. Yo, they'll come for you. If these motherfuckers could lay in your house and chill and hide, they would fucking do it. They don't give a fuck. This is not just about Jewish people. This is not just about Jewish people. This is not just about Israel. You think if these motherfuckers do a terrorist attack in the United States, they give a fuck who dies? They don't give a fuck. You think because you're protesting, they won't kill you? You think because you're marching and spray painting police cars, they won't kill you? You think because you're LGBTQ for Palestine, they won't fucking, they don't even, let's be clear, LGBTQ plus, they don't even waste bullets on y'all. They burn you alive and throw you off a fucking building like you're some kind of freak animal. The excitement, the adrenaline.
Now, this is what you call playing the heartstrings and emotional, trying to deal with the emotions of someone who may be LGBTQ to get them on his side. Now, this guy, he's a very, very, very skillful manipulator.
Adrenaline that people have shown hating all things Jewish, hating all things Israel in the last 5+ weeks is frightening. It's discouraging. It's shocking. It's confusing. It's disturbing. But I hate to break it to you folks. The Jewish people are not going anywhere. Israel is not going anywhere. There is not going to be a ceasefire. And unfortunately, this is just my own opinion. And it's a horrible, horrible thing to say. Because these motherfuckers do not want a ceasefire, Hamas, because these motherfuckers do not want to negotiate anything. Because
how are you going to say Hamas don't want a ceasefire? Have you heard from Hamas? The only person I heard from is Netanyahu, who said he don't want a ceasefire. They're talking about a ceasefire now in exchange for some hostages. But after those hostages are released, they're going to resume the bombing.
They only want the destruction of all Jewish people and the end of Israel from the river to the...
That's not true. Palestine want a true state to coexist with Israel. And that's what the whole world is calling for. They said in order for it to be peace, they're going to have to coexist. Yet one wants to exist without the other one existing. Stop lying.
To the sea, Palestine will be free. That's their fucking slogan. That's their slogan, like Nike has, like...
What is wrong with that? Palestine would be free. What's wrong with that slogan? Anyone who's living somewhere wants to be free instead of having a wall around their state, living in an open air concentration camp. What's wrong with Palestine being free? What's wrong with Israel being free? Nothing. They have to coexist with freedom and share the Gaza Strip. That's the only way it's going to be peace.
Like Mike, If I could be like Mike, or just do it. That's their slogan. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. They live that shit.
Nothing wrong with that.
They're about it.
There he goes with our lingos again.
That's all they want. That's the one and only thing they want. That is not happening. It is not happening. Israel's not going anywhere. The Jewish people are.
It's not the point of Israel going somewhere. That's not the point. He's trying to make it seem like the Palestinians want to destroy Israel and there be in that region no Israel. No, what they want is what he's describing. Palestine wants to be free.
Are not going anywhere. And it's disgusting to even say, but I truly feel like those hostages, the majority of them, I feel like, are gone. How could you take care of a 9-month-old baby who's now 10-month-old in a tunnel for 37 days?
Do Michael Rappaport know this for certain, that there's a 9-month-old baby there? Do he know this for certain? This is propaganda. This all this is. Do he know for certain that there's a 9-month-old baby somewhere being held hostage in a tunnel? This is playing on the heartstrings of our people. If you listen to his language, he's directing everything that he's saying to our people. Moral manipulation.
They don't want to give back these hostages. They're sending pictures. Who knows when these pictures were taken? Hamas needs to go for everyone's sake. The only way.
Well, if Hamas was never created, Hamas wouldn't exist. Just like the Taliban wouldn't exist if it was never created. Just like Al-Qaeda, just like ISIS. If all these so-called terrorist groups that were used by you first, and then now they're terrorist groups, political terrorist groups, supposedly, they was never created, they wouldn't exist.
The way that the people of Gaza have a chance is to start from scratch without Hamas. And I will tell you, I know this has been a flawed, dysfunctional relationship, and no government, United States government, French, Italian, no government is perfect. No government doesn't have blood on its hands. Why do you think Israel should be held to unattainable governmental standards?
Enough of that bullshit. We're going to go to another one. His so-called hearts.
38 days ago, Israel was attacked. We know what happened. The hostages must come home. Free every single one of them. There cannot be a ceasefire until the hostages are home. I have never felt.
This is why they put the narrative out that being held hostage is worse than death, because they know what they're doing over there. They know they're just murdering people and bombing places indiscriminately, killing people. And they're not bombing military targets. They're bombing civilian areas where citizens are. And they're pushing this narrative that being a hostage is worse than death, because they're just constantly killing people. And you heard the statement he just made, there will not be a ceasefire until the hostages are home. The hostages may be hostages. I don't even know if that's for certain. They may be hostages, but they're living. But the people that are being bombed and blown to smithereens, they're not living anymore. Men, women, and children, citizens of that area.
Felt this prideful to be Jewish in my life. It's been a crazy time, but Jewish people around the world, we have seen it all. We have heard it all. Israel is not going anywhere. And to the people that aren't with us, you're going to thank us later. All you young people in the front, you are beautiful. You're beautiful. Stay strong.
Move on from there.
Michael Rappaport is an actor you would probably recognize from numerous movies and TV.
I don't even want to play this. I'm done with him. I'm tired of seeing him and hearing his voice.
So Amari Stoudemire is an ex-NBA star, and he had this to say regarding...
Listen to this. Numbskull. Speak like he can influence someone. I don't like when entertainers and athletes feel like they could morally manipulate us also. I don't like when entertainers and athletes think that they could influence us. You know, some of them get paid to influence us. That way, they can get all of us through the entertainer. And I hate that. Now, this guy thinks that he's talking about Black Lives Matter. He mentioned Black Lives Matter, but I know that he's talking about us as a whole. He said why Black Lives Matter is not standing up against what's going on, standing up for Israelis, for Jews. Why are Black people obligated to do that? That's the question. Why are we obligated to do that? The ADL do not stand up for us. The only people I see the ADL standing up for and defending is Jewish people. Now, he identify as a Israeli, or whatever he call himself. I know he's with that faith. Yet they don't identify with you, dude. They don't identify with you, man. They'll use you. They would definitely use you for their cause, but they don't identify with you.
Regarding what happened in Israel.
I woke up, man, this morning with some disturbing news out of Israel. That Hamas kidnapping children, putting them in cages, killing women.
You know, the United States under Donald Trump took children from their parents and put them in cages. That happened here in the United States. So what is this dude talking about?
Women, killing the elderly. That's some coward. That's cowardly. And for all y'all Black Lives.
So I guess it must be true because it's on the news. Because a man standing with a mic in his hand with a camera pointed at him said it. That means that it's true. Amari Stoudemire don't even know for certain that this happened. But he would go after someone and call them out and use obscenities towards them because they refuse to stand up for someone who don't stand for us.
Lives Matter, who ain't saying nothing. Well, let me figure out exactly what happened before I say anything. F you. Figure out what?
Exactly. You're supposed to figure out what happened before you say anything. You're supposed to know for certain that what you are standing up for is a worthy cause. Instead of having to do a retraction, I'd rather do a fact-finding and make sure that what I'm saying is right and exact, because you don't want to say something that's wrong, that may cause harm to people on either side. But this idiot wants people to jump the gun and just jump out the window and say something about something they don't know about. You can tell this is a dumb athlete.
It ain't never been cool to kidnap kids and put them in cages. It ain't never been cool to kill women and elderly. Never been, no matter where you from, what you represent.
Why is he talking like he's certain that that happened? And this is what you call, putting on the cape. This is putting on the cape and speaking as if he knows what he's talking about, and he don't. He believes the propaganda machine. He believes what CNN says, what Fox News says, what MSNBC says, and all these other propaganda machines. He believes what they say, and he'll come out the best. You can't put your foot in your mouth. You can't, speak and be wrong about what you said. And no one can say that you're lying. And you cannot incriminate yourself by saying nothing. The best way to not have people say you said something is to say nothing.
Represent what tribe before, don't matter. There ain't never been no cool. There ain't never been none that nobody supported. And then you go and hide and put the kids in front of you.
That's a bunch of nonsense. Because the country I live in support it. United States military soldiers kill their own. They rape and kill their women soldiers. Women soldiers get killed. They get raped. United States soldiers also commit war crimes. They commit war crimes. So what is this dude talking about? It's not cool to do, but you can't say that one person is guilty of it and one person is not, and one nation is guilty of it, one nation is not. Who in this world adhere to the Geneva Convention against the war crimes and the rules of engagement when it comes to war? Nobody adheres to that. They go to war and they bomb citizens, they bomb anywhere, malls, restaurants, hospitals, and the whole damn nine. And it's everybody.
You as a barricade. That's some coward. All you politicians who always have something to say on the contrary, I see you. F you. All you Black Lives Matter people who always have something to say and always supported everything else, and you quiet now, F you too. Only place in the world where I can go and study Torah and eat kosher food. Only place in the world.
A lot of us, not myself, but a lot of us. You see what this Negro just said? The only place he can go and study and eat kosher food. He's worried about getting on a goddamn plane, flying to Israel and studying and eating kosher food. A lot of people don't even have somewhere to live. A lot of people didn't even have a meal today. And this dude's worried about studying, flying on a goddamn plane, going 9,000 miles away and having a kosher meal. This is what thinking that you have risen above the condition of your people. This is what it sounds like. It sounds just like this idiot right here.
Some coward, dog, and all y'all supported. F you. My mama, we don't respect none of y'all for that. Peace.
Who is the we that he's talking about? He said, we don't respect none of y'all for that. What we is he talking about? I want to move on from him. I don't even want to hear his voice no more. Now we're going to go to right now. Sticking to the subject, moral manipulation. We're going to go to someone who's worth probably $500 million or more, who gave the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan praise for what he said about DMX. And then when someone asked him a mere question, he just totally changed his demeanor, backtracked on what he said, and he acted as if he don't even know who the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is. Here's a man probably my age, just a little younger probably, act like he don't know who the minister is or what the minister have said in the past, and he gonna act like he don't know who the brother is.
Shark Tank star Damon John catches backlash for tweet praising Louis Farrakhan's speech at DMX's funeral. The Shark Tank star praised the Nation of Islam minister's words about the late rapper. Shark Tank star Damon John caught some backlash for praising a speech given at the funeral.
Now, this is what he said after someone asked him, after he gave praise to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's speech at DMX's funeral. Someone asked him, do Louis Farrakhan pay black entertainers? That's a rhetorical question. A rhetorical question. Because they know who pay entertainers. They do. That was a putting you in check statement. And Damon John, one of the proprietors, owners, founders of FUBU, supposed to be for us, by us. He came out and he said, in regards to my tweet regarding DMX's funeral, my comments on Minister Farrakhan were only related to what I just witnessed tonight, unbeknownst to his prior standings and stances. That's a bunch of nonsense. I'm quite certain that Damon John heard Minister Farrakhan before. I'm quite certain he did. And he said, as one who was fortunate enough to have a stepdad of the Jewish faith, I do not condone or never would condone any anti-Semitic prejudice or remarks of hatred. The prior tweet will be removed to avoid further pain and confusion to anyone. Yes, further pain to yourself, because they checked you and they made you capitulate. He capitulated for one statement, one question. Do Louis Farrakhan pay black entertainers? This female who wrote this knows the answer to that question, which makes it a rhetorical question. She knows who pays black entertainers. She knows this. Yet, she felt compelled to check Damon John, and Damon John capitulated. I'm not going to even stick to this. I'm going to move on, staying consistent with moral manipulation.
Before I get started with this video, if y'all hear any kind of noise in the background, that's just the notifications coming from my phone. But I wanted to talk briefly about this whole Damon John, Minister Farrakhan situation. So basically what we have here is yet another Negro who has been spooked by the J community for daring to mention Minister Farrakhan's name, especially with how they feel about him, and not just the J community, but many PC people as a whole just don't like him because of the propaganda that has been put out about him over the years. So basically what happened was you had DMX's funeral at the Barclays Center, which was a huge event, by the way. And Minister Farrakhan, decided to give some words about DMX. I think he did it virtual. And Damon John came out and he put out a tweet basically praising Minister Farrakhan for what he said. And not even maybe mere hours later, probably within the same day, he deleted the tweet in which he praised Farrakhan and replaced it with the one that you see on your screen. The one on your screen says, "In regards to my tweet regarding DMX's funeral, my comments on Minister Farrakhan were only related to what I just witnessed tonight, unbeknownst to his prior stances. As someone who was fortunate enough to have a stepdad of the Jewish faith," the jokes write themselves, y'all. "I do not condone and never condone any anti-Semitic prejudice or any remarks of hatred. The prior tweet will be removed to avoid further pain and confusion to anyone who has felt hurt in the past by any negative." Now it kind of cuts itself off. Maybe if I read this article, it'll pull the rest of it up. But let me tell you something. Damon John, if y'all don't know who he is the founder or one of the founders of For Us By Us, also known as FUBU, which was a very popular urban hip hop line that started in New York back in the 90s. I don't think you could have went anywhere and didn't see not one black person who had at least one FUBU outfit or apparel somewhere.
Exactly.
Somehow, some way. That kind of got pushed to the side when Tommy Hilfiger kind of entered and started marketing to black people, and then people started to not mess with FUBU no more and started messing with Tommy Hilfiger. But that's neither here nor there.
Not me.
But just a little history lesson for y'all in case you didn't know. So he's also more popular being known as one of the judges on the panel for that show Shark Tank, which is basically a show that allows everyday people to come and show their inventions to see if it will be marketable in stores or businesses, or it's something that they could use. And that's pretty much that I know what I know so much as far as Damon John goes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and mention it because I already know people are going to say it. Yes, Damon John does have a PC wife. So it makes you wonder what was going through her mind when he came out and made that tweet about Farrakhan and everything like that. But the biggest thing is, look at who Damon John's handlers are. This guy has handlers that are part of the J community. What he should have not done is even mention Farrakhan's name in a tweet, knowing who his handlers are. I am so sick and tired of these Negroes out here big upping the minister 1 minute and then reverting back and reversing everything that they say because they got spooked by who the very next minute. That just shows you how much enslavement is still very much here. It is not gone anywhere. They still have those mental shackles placed on them. It is still very much there. And Damon John, with all the money that he has acquired over the years, and with everything that he has done with his success, he still has paymasters that he has to answer to. And that's probably the call he received after he made that tweet. Because, see, here's the thing. He should have known
it wasn't even a call. It was a tweet. It was a tweet that someone put out. It was a female. It was a Jewish female who asked that question. Do Louis Farrakhan pay black entertainers? That rhetorical question. And she checked him with that statement. And he, backtracked, retweeted, and took the tweet down about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's exactly how it happened.
When they don't like Farrakhan, they have not liked the minister forever because they say this, that, and the third about him in all types of things. So if you run the risk of saying stuff about him and you know that it can affect your well-being, don't say it at all. Nick Cannon did the same thing last year, and you saw he had to go on a whole apology tour. And
exactly, Nick Cannon had Professor Griff on Cannon's class. He felt compelled to do more talking than the guest when he should have been drawing the questions and the information out of Professor Griff. Professor Griff is very more than capable of answering any questions that Nick Cannon would have asked him about whatever subject they would have talked about. Professor Griff would have been more than capable of answering the questions, but he wanted to show Professor Griff how much information he had, and it was a lot. Nick Cannon has a lot of information, but what he should have drawn, whatever he wanted to relay, he should have drawn it out of Professor Griff. That's what a good interviewer does. If you want to push something and you get a capable person, you draw it out of them. But no, he wanted to say it in front of Griff. And it was a good build, but he got spanked afterward. And he went, like the brother said, on an apology tour. He got things taken away from him. And he had Abraham Cooper on his Cannon's class more than anyone he ever had on his class. He sat across the table with him. And Nick Cannon actually acted like he was ignorant to what he was doing and what he was saying. And Abraham Cooper actually sat there across the table from the brother, and he expressed victimhood in front of Nick Cannon. And he sort of, in all actuality, punked the brother in front of the whole damn world, or at least those who watched Cannon's class.
It's almost like he had, man, if that guy could have had a psychotic break, he probably would have. And Damon John better hope he doesn't have to go on that same tour, but they already got him because he took down the tweet and then he basically gave an apology. And then threw the part about him in there saying he was fortunate enough to have a stepdad of the Jewish faith. He just had to throw that in there to soften the blow.
Exactly.
Listen, like I said, if you are a black person, please do not mention anything about the minister again. If you're not going to stand on your square with your words and what you say as it pertains to this man, because you're really not on his side. If he wants to speak, let him speak, but don't you say anything in response to it. You just agree with it offline. Do not tweet anything. Don't post nothing. If you're not going to stand by what you say. Will there be consequences? More than likely. But you have a community.
Now I'm going to go to something that's totally different. A total different narrative of what Jewish people sentiment is and thoughts are when it comes to Israel. Not all Jewish people agree with what's going on in Israel.
We are here attending the Mass ICNA convention in Chicago, and we are participating here. We have a booth here, and our mission is to explain to so many people, the Muslim people here, and to the world at large, that not all Jews support the state of Israel. There's a great difference between Judaism and Zionism. Judaism is a religion. The Jewish people practicing this religion only, versus Zionism, the state of Israel, which is a purely political movement. We are handing out this new pamphlet, which is talking about the recent President Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of the state of Israel. And we say that according to Jewish religion, this is unacceptable. It's not just the question of Jerusalem, it's the question of entire Palestine. This entire occupation is unacceptable according to Judaism. And we have masses of Jewish people worldwide who totally oppose all what the state of Israel stands for. All the state of Israel stands for is in total contradiction, in total violation of Jewish teachings, killing and stealing, occupying another's land, oppressing an entire people. All of this is totally forbidden according to Judaism. This is a true violation of Jewish teachings. And in addition, this concept of building a sovereign homeland for Jews happens to be in total contrast to Jewish belief. According to Judaism, we are in exile. Jewish people are forbidden to end exile by any physical means. All Jewish leaders from the very beginning of Zionism totally opposed this concept. This was invented not by religious scholars. The philosophy of Zionism, of building a sovereign homeland for Jews, was invented by Theodor Herzl and his friends, people who didn't follow anything within the Jewish religion.
Every single day that we don't speak out as Jews in support of Palestinian liberation is another day too late. This is the first time I am using my full real name to stand in solidarity with Palestinians. And I don't deserve applause because I am too late. Because every single day that we don't speak out as Jews in support of Palestinian liberation is another day too late. I grew up in a Jewish American school system that was explicitly Zionist. I feel like we've all heard stories, but that didn't just make sure we didn't talk about Palestine, but actively taught us not to empathize with Palestinians. And the kind of fear and repression that leads Jews who would say more to be silent is why Israel can continue to do what it's doing. But I'm here to say, for anybody who is scared, that there is no level of explaining away that can make it okay that 30 plus children were buried in Gaza on Eid. There is nothing. There is no explaining that away. And no school system and no Hasbara newspaper and no government can make that okay.
Palestinians are doing every single thing they can to survive. And our duty and our responsibility and our commitment is to do every single thing that we can do in solidarity with the Palestinian people.
And now, after this, I want to go to I know myself and the brothers were talking about having idiot of the week. You know, a nicer way of what we discussed when we were on the phone talking about it. I'm just going to be nice about it today and just calling it idiot of the week. We had another name for it. I'm not going to say that. The brothers know what we spoke about, but I'm going to call it idiot of the week, and I'm going to present to us the idiot of the week because some people should not be allowed to speak in public because they say the dumbest things. They don't know what to say, and they're easily led in the wrong direction, and they're easily manipulated into saying things without even pondering and thinking about what they're going to say, and just go out in front of a crowd and put not only their foot in their mouth, but they put their foot in their mouth all the way to their damn knee. I present to you idiot of the week.
You look beautiful. You look beautiful. Why am I here? Why am I here? I'm here because the horror and the terror that unfolded in Israel and Palestine have sent shockwaves far beyond their borders that affect and disrupt lives right here in the United States. Now, if you're not Jewish, you may not know this, but since October 7th, there has been literally an explosion of violence against Jewish people, attacks against Jewish people, horrific acts of hatred against Jewish people. The FBI says it's been unprecedented, 400% increase just in the past 3 weeks. If you don't know that, it's because your social media algorithm is not telling.
The FBI didn't say this. His job said it. CNN said it.
You that, and you might want to ask yourself why. But once you know, you cannot be silent. I don't want to be silent because the Jewish community stood with the civil rights movement. It stood with the civil rights.
Here we go with that foolishness.
Movement. Walking arm in arm, facing death, going to jail. The Jewish community stood with the civil rights movement, and I cannot be silent when Jews fall under attack today. I just can't do it. And that's why I'm here. Now,
you are there because CNN said, nigga, get your ass out there and say something.
Whatever our different political beliefs and views are about what's happening overseas, you do not have to support all the policies of Israel to support and love and stand with all the people of Israel during a time of profound mourning. That's why I'm here. Now, like all of us, and as was just said, my heart breaks for all the Israeli children. My heart breaks for all the Palestinian children. And my heart breaks for all of the Jewish American children who are now also living in fear. I pray that every single hostage is released. I pray that.
Where is his passion when black men, women, and children are gunned down on the street in the United States of America, locally, here where you're at, Van Jones? Where is this passion at? Why weren't you standing up? I didn't see him at any protest when it came to any other brothers and sisters who were murdered in the streets of the United States by the police or by a regular white supremacist. Salute to my brother Voodoo Child. Brother, you know your home. You know your home, right? You know that, right?
Right on. Right on.
Okay, good brother. I'm going to continue playing it. If you want to tap it before I continue, do so.
I mean,
And if
it's amazing.
while we're listening, you want me to stop the video, just ask me.
Hey man, I just want to tap in it quickly and say, bro, I
Yes,
just
sir.
woke up. Love to the chat, everybody in here. It's amazing when you hear such passion. I want this dude to be an actor, homie. I want to be somebody being paid for this. Because for a black man living in a country where a man could get his neck kneeled on for 9 minutes while he called for his mama, who gives a
Yes, sir.
fuck about somebody in Israel? I only could watch some of that. I had to stop because I couldn't have been out there. I would be dead right now because I
Yes,
would have
sir.
tackled the shit out that. I would have never stood around and listened to another man call for his mama. I couldn't have
Yes, sir.
did it. And then
No,
we got
brother,
this.
he'd have got off him, brother. Now, brother, I'm with you on that, brother. And whoever was trying to keep the people at bay, that cop that was keeping the people at bay while he was calling for his mom, he just would have got something would have happened. I wouldn't have stood
Man, it
idly by.
should have been a riot. They should have fucked them
Yes, sir.
up.
Yes, sir, brother.
To
I
me,
agree with you.
any
Brother.
man and woman out there who listens to another man and have a child call for his mama while he be being. I've been in many fights, homie. 9 minutes is a long time to
Yes.
hold somebody and kneel on them and slowly suffocate them. That shit was so I mean, there's no love, zero love.
I mean, brother, that's beyond hate, brother.
I don't even know how he sleep with himself. Even in
Yes, sir.
combat, when I've had combat with people and I could see that he ain't really want it, I stop him and say, man, go about your business.
Exactly.
I want you to want it.
Exactly.
I
Exactly. Because
couldn't kneel on a man for 9 minutes, man, and listen to him
no,
call
sir.
for his mother. And this cat here talking about Ukraine and Israel children that's afraid. This makes me angry, man. I want to fight him.
Brother, we'll jump him.
And beat the shit. And I don't even believe in jumping. I believe mano a mano, but we'll jump him and beat his ass to pieces too.
Nah, it's like this, bro. Because I'm saying it because I strongly share your sentiment.
I have 2 sons, and to imagine all this heartfelt feeling in a country that has shown you they don't give a shit about you.
Yes, sir.
You're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about Ukraine, Israel, Palestinian. Look, bro, I'm not happy about anybody's downfall, anybody's misfortunes. I'm not that type of person. I'm not hateful.
Nobody's. Yes,
But
sir.
my allegiance is to my own first. Because
Exactly.
if the shit hit the fan right now, we all we got. And they've shown
Exactly.
us, Katrina, anything else, we don't really give a shit about you. All the while your culture, popular culture rules the world. We follow everything you do, you say, your food, your traditions, but you don't mean shit to us. They have definitely showed us that. And for him to be talking so passionately, man, that I was laying down, bro. I'd been at work. Man, that shit got me up, my adrenaline pumping. That makes me mad as shit.
Yes, sir. He had no passion, brother. You didn't even see him out here like this when it came to one of us.
No.
Never seen a Van Jones out in public. See, I think it was Jeff Bezos who gave this man $100 million, if I'm correct.
For what?
And he just gave it to him, from my understanding. Just gave it to him.
Okay, so
He
he
was,
been paid. He been paid to do this. No, he didn't just get anything. This system don't just give you a damn thing at no time.
I mean, I know what you're saying, and I agree with it. But that's what they're saying. He just gave it to him. But I know for a fact that it's just to add strings to the puppet.
Yes, sir.
Add strings to the puppet because he already makes millions of dollars worth of CNN. But they want to know of a surety that he's going to do whatever they say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what
Sure
he's doing.
He's a tool.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He's a straight up tool. I'm gonna continue the video, but if you need me to stop it, brother, just tell me.
No. Go ahead, man.
Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. And I also pray that Hamas ends its reign of terror. I pray that. And I have to say, I'm a peace guy. I pray for peace. No more rockets from Gaza and no more bombs falling down on the people of Gaza. God protect the children. Let's end all the horror and all the heartbreak in the Holy Land. Let's end all of it. But I'll be honest in closing. When I think about what's happening over there, I don't feel powerful to do something about what's happening over there.
What's crazy is he can think about what's happening over there, but don't think about what's happening here. Israel's a good 9,000 miles away.
Amen. Blatant disrespect. Anybody who's so-called black, aboriginal, of the same hue that experiences all these inequalities and goddamn injustice in America should be pissed off. Every YouTube channel should be saying something about this.
Yes, sir. I agree, brother. And that's when I seen it, I was like, I gotta say something. I had to say something because this dude is totally out of pocket, standing up on this foolishness.
Over there. What I do feel powerful is to maybe do something about what's happening here. Let's take a stand here against anti-Jewish bigotry. Let's take a stand against Muslims. Let's take a stand here against hatred.
You heard what he said? He said, let's take a stance here against Muslims. That's what he said.
Straight up.
Not let's take a stance here against violence against our people. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna see if he name us.
Let's take a stand here against hatred of all kinds. I don't want.
See, he can't say. He will always have to be inclusive. He won't say, let's take a stance here against hatred against my people.
That should have been the first thing.
That should have been the first thing he said. But he doesn't have any fortitude. He's bought and paid for.
Sad. Any other person up there immediately would have said, about their people first.
Exactly.
And we always tiptoe about that. We don't want them to think that we want to be respected too much. We want to mention everybody else first. Make sure we're getting everybody else in.
And then we use the umbrella, people of color, instead of saying directly who you're talking about.
My people. But
then people.
You go home to your children and you want them to believe that their father gives a shit about them. You can't if you ain't representing your own.
Exactly. Silenthium said, and I always say it, so that's why I'm gonna say it, because I share that sentiment strong. Charity begins at home, then it spreads abroad. You take care of your own first, because the first law of nature is self-preservation. And if he don't think like that, something is wrong with his thinking. He's a dangerous person, and he shouldn't even be allowed to come among us. After being here saying that, everybody should ostracize him and isolate him from them. He should be ostracized.
You should get that Michael Vick treatment.
Exactly.
Any Jewish mother to be afraid here to drop her baby off at the JCC. I don't want that. I don't want any Jewish son to be afraid to leave his dorm room and go to the Hillel Center for.
What about an 18-year-old motorist that look like you, fool?
What about them black college students that just took gunfire on campus 3 years in
Exactly.
a row on the same day?
Exactly. Exactly.
For a meal. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I don't want any rabbi tonight to have to go and buy an extra can of white paint just to be able to paint over a swastika on a synagogue tomorrow morning here in the United States. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I definitely don't want any Jewish daughter, which I just learned, to change her name in her rideshare app because she's afraid for her driver to know that she is Jewish. That should not be happening here. That should not be happening here. So, no matter what happens anyplace else, we can do better here. No more horror there. No more hatred here. You are not alone. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What about the hatred against your own people? Hatred is an act. You can say some hateful things, but in order to display hatred, that's an act. You have to do something to express their hate towards another person. And I see that on a daily basis. If you watch Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie, he shows he's on their neck when it comes to that. This brother shows all types of videos of things because he gets people out of jail. He gets, he exposed hatred towards our people. And he's on their neck when it comes to hatred of our people. He exposed anyone who would commit an act of hate against our people. But this guy here, Van Jones, we can't afford him. We can't afford nobody like him.
At all. It's amazing to hear him talk so piously about how he wants to fix the small hats community. He wants to worry about her changing her name in her ride share. Come on, bro. What neighborhood is this cat from? Where is he from? Is he worried about anything now?
Yes, sir. I don't know why I put this in here.
This shit crazy, man.
Yeah, brother. When I watched this, it angered me. Because again, we can't afford Negroes like this to come out. There's nothing wrong with feeling sympathy and empathy for someone if they're victims of violence. I'm not against that. But what I'm against is I didn't see you putting on the cape, Van Jones, when it came to your own people. I didn't see Van Jones out here on behalf of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. I didn't see Van Jones out here against the little brother or sister who fell a victim to American society. I didn't see Van Jones at all. I want to take a commercial break, and I want to pay homage on behalf of my wife to the brothers and sisters who supported my wife's book called Fire. I just want to, on behalf of my wife, thank everyone. It's not everyone, but those who took the picture and sent the picture and holding the book. I just want to pay homage and thank you on behalf of my wife for supporting the book.
The once goal-driven, ambitious Sapphire turns to the street life after the sudden death of her big brother Dre. Dre's best friend Devontae tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. A rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise.
I just want to thank everyone for the purchase of the book Fire. A great read. You would, just if you purchase the book, you will enjoy it. I did a soundtrack to the book the other day, and I'm just saying that the book is very enjoyable. It's one of those types of books that once you start reading, you won't be able to put down. A lot of action, a lot of thought-provoking events. It gets gangster, and it's a lot of surprises in the book also. So she did her thing on it. It's her first book, but you won't be able to tell that it's her first book. Anyone who reads the book will be like, wow, this is her first book. She did very good for her first book. And it's something that I'm very proud of. I read the whole book from cover to cover. It's 409 pages. It's a real book. It's not, a week of tweets. It's a real book, 409 pages. And she did a very good job on it, something that I'm proud of. And when you have a chance, go to books, go to Fire, Fyre, Angela King James. She's the author who wrote the book, and purchase the book. You can get it on paperback or Kindle at Amazon. So, when you get a chance, purchase the book. Now, I just want to end with this. We are not obligated to speak out and up about a conflict that don't concern us. And we must not let anyone morally manipulate us into doing so. Some people think that they can just wag their fingers in our face and shame us. We don't owe anyone an iota of nothing, including a word. We don't owe anyone anything. If it's anything, the entire world owes us. The entire world owes us if it's anything. So when someone comes to you and they ask you how you feel about what's going on there, do not be afraid to speak your mind about how you feel. Because if they ask you, you give them what you feel. Don't cater to anyone's feelings. Because if they ask me, I'm going to ask them a question Are you sure that you want to hear what I feel about that before I answer the question? And once they assure me that they want to hear what I have to say, I'm going to give them everything about how I feel about the situation. And then I'm going to let them know that my people are constantly catching hell on a daily basis here on our homeland, as opposed to what's going on over there on the Gaza Strip, Israel and Palestine. I'm hoping that there will be a ceasefire altogether. But you cannot establish peace without equality. If you are talking about establishing peace without equality, you are making a mockery of peace. That's mockery. That's actually, not a fair exchange. And a lot of times when people say, well, do it, and it's trivial. Whenever you use the word if, it is trivial. If you do this, if you do that, it is trivial. If you want to establish peace, you come to the table and you establish something that is a fair exchange. Whenever there's no fair exchange, somebody is being robbed. And that would never establish peace, because the person who is the victim of the robbery is always going to be uneasy and never satisfied. And there will never be peace. So if you're serious about peace, there has to be a fair exchange. And there has to be a coexistent with equality. Justice is a reward or penalty. That's the definition. That's the definition of justice: a reward or penalty. And you have to decide which level or which side of justice that you want to be on. That rewarding side or that penalty side. If everyone read the book by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad called Proper Handling of People. Proper handling of people. And they went according to that book. If the world read that book and they adhered to that and they went by that book alone can establish peace on earth. But when you have it in your mind that you are trying to manipulate someone, you're trying to get over on someone, and the only way you can have peace with someone is if they capitulate to what you want them to do. That's not a real peace. That's not a real peace. Because if you are a bully, take it down, take it to the high school level or whatever level you want to take it on. If you are a bully and people respect you because you walk around as the Broad Street bully, they respect you for that. Eventually, that bully, when the people get tired of being bullied, that bully is going to get ran down on. Or it may be someone that is, peace to my brother, Executive Sessions. always going to be someone who's not afraid of the bully. It's always some guy who be like, I'll knock his ass out. The minute he approached me with that, I'm knocking him out. It's always somebody like that that's not scared of the bully. And I was that dude in school, was not scared of the bully. I'm waiting for him to do that. I'm waiting for him to even bully somebody I care about or somebody I'm cool with. And it's lights out. Just imagine, out of all the people Suge Knight bullied, so little guy knocked his ass out. A little dude put Suge Knight to sleep. When anybody else could have did that, but they were so scared to do it. That's what happens to the bully eventually on any level. Any level. I just want to thank everyone who came through and hung out with your brother. I want to thank my brother Voodoo Child for coming up and contributing to the stream. Everything my brother said was intricate and pertinent to the stream. I want to thank Silenthium, my brother Executive Sessions, Not No, my brother Voodoo Child. I want to thank my brother Big Dog Philly OG. I want to thank Key Norfolk, the Serpent God King Morpheus, original. Thank you, brother. Let me see who else we got here. I want to thank Doe Eyes. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate everyone who came through to support your brother. I want to thank Black Wild Indian, Stephanie Burke, my brother King Genocide. I thank you all for coming through. And we're going to keep the information coming because we must inform our people and we must not let our people fall a victim to the propaganda machine. We get the real news, unfiltered, uncut. They try to censor us, but we strive to give as much of the unadulterated truth as we possibly can because we don't want to lead our people astray, because we have enough of that. So whenever I open my mouth, I want to give my people what I know as the truth. And if anyone can come up and add to that truth, or if anyone have information that is not necessarily contrary, but if I see that what I said was incorrect, I am not above doing a retraction and going saying that I was wrong, what I said was not right and exact, and then presenting what is right and exact. I am not above that because what I'm doing here is not ego driven. It's not about me. It's about getting the information out to my people. Because we have a lot of people and enough people who don't have our best interest at heart. They don't. They'll use us as their tools, and what they do with their tools, when they're done with their tools, they break them. You will not be a tool of racism, white supremacy, or anyone who would use us against ourselves and serve to our detriment. They will not have you collecting dust in a shed as their tool. They break their tools because they don't want nobody else to use it when they're done with you. So if you are a tool for these people, just know you will not get out that clean. You will not get out clean. Everyone they ever used as their tool never got out clean. They are brought to ruins right before their stupid ass die. Right before they die. You're not going to pass a damn thing on to your children. You won't. So you can talk generational wealth without power if you want. If you are powerless, you leave your people and think it's, the grass is greener on the other side, and you leave your people, the ones who made you, leave your people and go on the other side like the grass is greener over there. You're not protected. Stay with your people. The ones who make you who you are. The ones who really support you. You don't leave your people. Those are the ones who really love you and really support you. And the only way we can get power is with our unity. Our unity is more powerful, as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said a long time ago, as anything that they could put against us. That's power in standing together. I quote him because I agree with him. That's why I quote the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, because I agree with him. Our unity is more powerful than anything that can come against us. Our unity, standing firm. Every time we come together and fight, we win. So that's the strategy. Come together, fight with and on behalf of our people, and we're always victorious when it happens. That's the formula. Rank and file also. Rank and file. A lot of our people they want to be an organization, but don't want to be organized. Rank and file is organization. You gotta be organized. Whatever your strong point is, I'm supposed to assist you in it, and vice versa. And the next brother, the next sister, the next sister, the next brother, whatever their strong points is, we all assist each other. And whatever their strong point is. Everybody else do it and are successful. But we can't be led astray. Led astray means away from your damn people. That's led astray, away from your people. None of us can't be led astray. We must not allow anyone to manipulate us and to think that us coming together exclusively on behalf of our people. We can't let people shame us because we do that. Because until we can free ourselves, until we could exercise power, not necessarily being the aggressor, but being ready so we don't have to get ready. If we go before any people I don't care what people on this entire planet, in this entire world, if we don't go before people with power, we're going to be their victim. So we have to empower ourselves. We must empower ourselves. That's the only way it's going to work. If you think that we're going to get it by talking, it's not going to happen. If you think we're going to get it without getting our scrap on, to those who think like that, just yap on. But we will not get it any other way besides coming together, organizing, strategizing, deputizing, and then establishing some power. We got to establish power. Rank and file. We have capable people. We have people in as far as our people, we got people in all walks that got so many skills that we could use. And it's a shame that we don't use it because somebody think that they're smarter than the other person. It's a shame we don't use it because people want to intellectually masturbate. They want to be the smartest person in the damn room. So we are stuck with arguing about who we are. We got that established of who we are. Yet if we don't, General Peace, salute. If we don't establish some power, no matter what we call ourselves, we're going to be disrespected. So we need to, okay, when we go up before the people, people can say, those are the Aboriginals, those are the indigenous, those are whoever we call ourselves. You can't go over there with them with the foolishness. They're not going for it. But if we are constantly agents of damn chaos, confusion, we're going to constantly be clowned. I'm absolutely certain that we are not being taken serious. Based on what I see on the platforms, we're not being taken serious. Why? Because we got people want to come on and be heard. That's it. Be heard. Don't want to listen to a damn thing somebody say. They just want to be heard. They want to spew what they think, but don't want to listen to what nobody else say. They take somebody else's thinking and they undermine it. I always say, that's why I read the book, Proper Handling of People. I'm going to do that lesson on my platform, Proper Handling of People. And after I do that lesson, I'm going to do the full lesson. After I do that lesson, if people don't get it, those brothers and sisters, I will not allow among me anymore. Because you could have a brother or sister stand corrected without telling them that they're wrong. Because if I said something that all along that I thought was the truth, and my brother Voodoo Child came on the platform and just said what he said, have his information, I could stand corrected without him saying I'm wrong. Just by him coming up and giving the information that he has. I could be like, okay, I didn't hear that before, but I like that better than what I said. This kind of man I am. Nothing ego driven. Any brother come up on my platform and say something that resonates with me and is something that resonates better than what I said, I'm going to tell the brother right in his face, damn, I like that better than what I said. Because it's about getting the correct information. That's what it's about. Getting the correct information. And it's not about me as an individual. It's not. We got to get our thing together. Eventually, we're going to have to meet. We're going to have to get off this. Because we can't discuss strategy on this. We can't. We shouldn't. It's not wise. We're going to have to find a place, mutual, more than one time, you know, to make it fair. Okay, we meet here this time, here this time, here this time. We have to find a place to meet and discuss what we're going to do on behalf of our people. Because there's a whole lot of foolishness that need to be cut out. A whole lot of foolishness we could be dealing with internally. And when we do meet, we're going to find out who's serious. We're going to find out who is just I'm going to use it again, an intellectual masturbator, getting off by undermining another brother or sister's thinking. That's one of the things I'm most tired of. I'm tired of hearing it. We can be building for 3 hours. You get a Negro come on and disrupt the build, call it himself building. If you're not adding on, you're not building, you're destroying. Add on. That's building. Add to the build. I know that I can't tell a brother or sister what to say, yet we need to understand what building is. You know why? It's my upbringing. It's my school of thought. Yet, I'm open-minded because my lessons tell me to seek knowledge. You don't tell me to stop where I'm at. It tells me to seek knowledge. So therefore, if a brother comes to me with knowledge, I'm going to listen to him. Or a sister, I'm going to listen to her. They come to me with something that I never heard. They come to me with something that's sensible, that makes sense, that we should be implementing amongst our people. I'm going to listen. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We should listen more than we talk. And that's how I've gotten understanding and have gotten information, because I sat with elders. I always liked, I'm going to even say I always loved sitting among elders and just watching them talk. Elderly men, just watching them talk. And they drop those gems. I'm not saying you should listen to all elders, but if you have a open mind, you know how to give what's not nutritious to you back to them. You know what to take. You know what to give back. Peace to Black Panther Jackie Brown. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, but our people in these years now, we haven't seen anything yet. We are in a dire situation. People are expecting us to involve ourselves in their conflict, and they want to hear what we're thinking. That's why they ask us. They want to check our pulse. They want to hear what we're thinking. And because someone puts a mic and a camera in your face, it don't mean you have to say anything. It don't mean that. You could just clearly say no comment and keep it moving. That's what I would basically say. No comment. Because I'd rather get with my brothers and sisters and discuss what we're going to do about our situation, about our condition, as opposed to discuss someone else's situation and condition. Or if I did make a comment, I would say that don't concern me. My people have our own problems. See, I see it all as weapons of mass distraction in all actuality. It's weapons of mass distraction. Now we got a Ukraine-Russian war, and now we got an Israel-Palestine war going on at both the same time. And we have a war going on, well, waged against us at the same time. I always say watch both hands. When you're in a fight, watch both hands. I learned from Sugar Ray Leonard. He used to wind that backhand and hit you with the front one. Watch both hands. So always watch both hands when it comes to multi-ethnic destruction in America, the media. Watch them. They're very, very manipulative. I sometimes turn on the news and I turn the volume down. Or I watch TV in general with the volume down. Just watching the actions of the people. We can learn a lot from that. I thank my brothers and sisters for coming through. That's the longest thank you. And closing remarks that I ever gave. I hope I didn't anger any of my family. I hope that what I said was informative. The presentation was formative. I hope it was informative to our people. And I hope that we could come to some type of not necessarily agreement, because a lot of us agree, I want to say it like this. Let's get to work. This is your brother Nasir. This is the enemy's public. Love, honor, and respect to everyone. Peace.
The once goal-driven, ambitious Sapphire turns to the street life after the sudden death of her big brother Dre. Dre's best friend Devontae tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. A rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise.
Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
Enemy public, I saw your thing on YouTube, man. Keep doing your thing, bro.